Welcome to another episode of The Zone Presents. We have a very special guest here, all the way from Naples, Mr. Chet Durkin. What's up, Chet? Thanks for coming, brother.
Good, man. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, man. We've been wanting this for a while, brother.
Yeah, this is awesome.
We're going to get right into it because I'm a big golfer, and I know you are not a big golfer. But fast forward about a year and change, all of a sudden I'm on the golf course with Judd, and here out of nowhere comes two very handsome tall guys on a golf cart saying, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
So how the heck did that happen?
Yeah, it was pretty spontaneous, to say the least.
Yeah.
My golf game has improved.
Good.
Down in Southwest Florida, there's a plethora of golf courses.
Correct.
Mostly work, but occasionally we jump on the course. But the backstory, to keep a long story short, Leo and myself, we had a collective probably like 12 years in another industry, in the pest control industry.
Yep.
And we did some really amazing things. We wanted to grow. We had some goals. We had some aspirations. And it was in Orlando, April 2021. Mm-hmm. We had finally decided that it was going to be our best summer. We were going to be the managers that would lead from the front. We'd go crazy and get a bunch of accounts. And we had a whole team that was following us out there.
Got it.
And when we got out there for preseason, we just ran into a couple hiccups. We ran into just some slower days, and we were sitting there, and it kind of, the stars aligned. I think over the years in the industry, we just finally were able to consider the switch, and we just so happened to be like 5 minutes from the old headquarters.
Yep.
And we were able to go and talk to Judd, and probably within a couple weeks, we took the whole team and just bounced down to Southwest Florida and just started getting into it.
I'm glad you said the stars aligned, because I don't think luck has anything to do with it. I mean, 12 years in the industry, you guys were top of your class, building a really strong team and a company, and then things happen, and mentalities and mindsets and industries shift, and it's kind of cool that you got just 5 minutes away. That is pretty wild.
It was wild. Looking back, it was wild.
Yeah, because we actually came in second at that golf tournament. I don't know if you remember that, but we did pretty well.
I rememed a lot of prizes that night. That night. We did not get one of them.
Yeah, no, we gave it to the rest of the group. Yeah. So we ended up doing that. But yeah, man, so you've had a long history in this game. I think anyone who's done a couple years in the door-to-door, you have to have some thick skin, right?
Sure.
And I think it brings us to what we really want to talk about today is like appreciating your roots and where you kind of established and how you got to where you are now. So if you don't mind, kind of go over like how being in the field to like transition to self-gen to closer and going through the ranks. What is the, a new guy starting out, what are the things they should focus on when they first start out?
Definitely, it's in other industries, you could just totally focus on going out there and hitting the doors, hitting your numbers, and you would see the success. Same applies in the solar industry. But what I think is really, really crucial is the systems. Mm-hmm. I've never really appreciated the systems that we've been able to build from the ground up. I mean, most of the time in the beginning, we were building an airplane as we flew it. But as we were able to establish some systems that ultimately with what we're getting paid was kind of the way to stay consistent.
Yeah. And I think some people, I don't think progression is the number one thing to do, right? It's not the one thing to focus on. It's a good goal to focus on growth, but I think it's important to focus on the interactions.
Absolutely.
So, going back to when you first started out, those interactions from the industry you were before to this one, what was so different?
There's so much more relationship building. Yeah. It's intense. There's among reps and among customers, there's an emphasis on actually building real relationships, and again, that requires the systems to be able to do that on a consistent basis.
Now, would you say this industry is more of a logical kind of sale?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when you talk about other industries, they're very, very emotional. Yeah. You can go out there and get yourself pumped up and go have a really, really good day, and as everyone knows, you can the next day have not such a good day. Yeah. But with this, you have to be able to build that relationship and have, help homeowners make decisions based off of logic as well as emotion. So
and I think what's cool, and I want to talk about this too with you, is your guys have done a great job of being high in volume, and also decent in quality. I mean, for just starting out,
totally.
to have a cancellation rate where it is now for you guys, I mean, it says a lot about that.
Thanks.
What would you say for the guy that becomes a closer or the guy that is setting for the closer? Like, are they thinking of the end game? What is like the most important thing you can say about that?
I think the most common conversations that we're having within our offices and with individuals is about growth. It's about having the long-term vision, because goals can be short-term, but when you're establishing those systems for which you're going to reach those goals, that's giving you the ability to unlearn things and create new goals and look even further into the future. So the conversations are about, hey, what is this going to look like for you in a year, in 18 months from now?
Interesting.
Yep.
Because I know, like, in Pastor Alarms, like, we're not thinking about, like, hey, what does it look like 3 years from now? They're like, oh, I'm out of contract in 3 years, so I'll find somebody else, right?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, right?
That's true.
So that's what's cool.
That's
Obviously,
true.
we get the ability to, have them be a part of our network for 25 years and whatnot. So it is a different kind of sale, so to speak. But I think, being a different kind of sale and also being different where it comes to income, what has separated you from, like, the consistency versus the complacency part of it? Because I see a lot of reps get complacent.
There's been moments.
Yeah.
Like when a certain paycheck hits on a Friday, you go, wow, I've never imagined this before. This is pretty cool. It's a cool feeling at first. I think the moment that I refer back to help me in those moments of complacency is when we did make the switch, when we switched industries. After 5 years knocking doors, every summer pretty diligently, the feeling that I was lacking, that I didn't realize I was lacking when I made the switch, was having that excitement and, like, just being scared out of my mind to try something new. It was the most attractive feeling I'd felt since, probably in my entire life.
Nice.
It was like, wow, this is something new and challenging. I'm scared out of my mind, but I'm willing to go out and just do this.
Yeah.
And, I refer back to that feeling, almost 2 years ago, and it's like, I want to have that consistently.
Yeah.
I want to be like, that mountain looks terrifying.
Yeah.
But let's get to the top of it.
That's a great point, because I've literally watched you, like, in your success, and now, like, you have a couple offices now, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And that's another challenge. Every single layer has been a challenge, and it's funny because it introduces new problems, right?
Big time.
And so that's why I think it's important that when you think back of what you've been through, you're never going to be perfect. Nothing's ever be done right until you do it often, until you failed enough times, so to speak.
For real.
Right? So what has been your drive to make that jump every single layer?
It was really cool. I don't have a family of my own yet. I have aspirations to have a family of my own. I want to provide. I want to have the freedoms that everyone talks about, some of the cliches that are still legitimate. But at the time that we said, hey, you know what, let's take the solar thing by the horns and let's ride the gravy train for as long as possible. It was motivated because we had so many people on our side that were just as hungry, that were looking for that opportunity as well.
Totally.
So we were like, please come with us.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So that's been the motivator right now. Is I'm not providing for my own necessarily, but we're providing the opportunities at a staggering rate to so many individuals.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have exploded for, like, the last year and a half. It's been really, really fun to watch. And I've watched not only, like, you guys, but, like, I'm not seeing people change. Because what's crazy is sometimes you start to have a lot of success financially and people do change. Yeah. I think that's really unique about your group is, like, you guys haven't changed. I think I saw, who was it? We were just in New Orleans, and, he's wearing, like, a $30 pair of shoes and a beat up hat, but, like, the point was he didn't change, and he's had the best earning year by far of his entire life. For sure. And, like, how have you kept guys humble?
Honestly, again, it comes down to, like, look, you have the responsibility, you have the obligation to provide, because everyone here, we're quite literally on the shoulders of giants. There's been processes that have been established. There's been people that have come before us that said, hey, this is going to work. We've put the blood, sweat, and tears in. This machine is well oiled. And it's like, do not take for granted the roots that you've established. We've all come from some door-to-door experience, and this opportunity is so unique that it's like you don't have a choice but to help the next guy coming up. So,
and I see that from you guys. It's been fun. Like I said, I think from looking at it from a 30,000-foot view, when you start to see teams come in and the growth happens. It's just been so fun to watch, two guys, you and Chet, you and Leo, turn into, hundreds of guys now.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It comes down to timing. It comes down to the stars aligning. People ask us, what have you guys been doing? And you know what? We felt that excitement. We made the switch, And I think we were blessed pretty abundantly for taking that risk.
Yeah.
It was a good risk, and we always tell people, look, it comes down to the fact that we were willing to take on that risk. We were willing to make the jump and to just commit to it. And so there's so many other talented people, obviously, that you've spoken to, and I feel like the story's kind of the same. It's just, you got to be an opportunist. You got to go out there and take what's yours.
You know what's great? Trust is like the foundation to any business or anything in general in life. I feel if you don't have trust, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
And last time I had your brother on here, he made a really big
watched
point.
that one.
Yeah, good. He made a big push. He said his inspiration and his motivation comes from your dad.
Totally.
And so, if you don't mind, just give us a little bit more about your dad and how he's made you and Leo.
I appreciate that. Thank you. My dad is a very special person. He's definitely a hero for sure. As are probably most people's dads. Hopefully, obviously there's different situations out there, but he's a firefighter. He's a battalion chief in Las Vegas. He's about to retire. He's he used YouTube to figure out everything.
Wow.
There was never any tradesmen inside the house to take care of projects. He would figure out how to do it. And he's always worked hard, and he's absolutely been the best counselor.
Yeah.
We go to him as far as business, life, personal, no matter what. And I think what I remember, and I was talking to someone about this recently, what I remember most about my dad is, even when I was young, it was like, hey, Dad, I want to go be a Navy SEAL. And his response, like maybe some parents could have been, that's crazy. Instead, his response was always, yeah, you could do that.
Nice.
Right. And so even if I went to him and said, I want to be an anesthesiologist, it was, yeah, you can do that.
I like that.
And didn't matter what it was.
Kept your mind open. And
yeah, so he was very encouraging.
Yeah, but I think, he's a problem solver. And I know that from Leo, I know that from you, is like you guys will figure it out no matter what circumstance.
Totally.
And I think that's a testament of what you guys have already accomplished and also what your guys are accomplishing is like, not everything's gonna be perfect. Nothing is over rainbows and and money just falls from trees. It comes with hard work.
Totally.
And I think that's been instilled to you guys, and it's actually showed to your team, and that's why I think you guys have grown the fastest. But I want to kind of wrap things up and land the airplane on a couple of good points here. You're one of our best looking guys in the company. I had to bring that up. You know that for sure. You're on our posters going forward. So
cool.
So not to talk about that too much. I wanted to shout that out to the team. But what's one fun fact that maybe some people don't know about you?
I feel like I'm a pretty basic guy.
No way. Come on.
I guess what a lot of people might not know about me is I grew up playing the drums just religiously.
Okay.
I got some wicked rhythmic talent, and you probably wouldn't believe it, but I've got also to complement that a pretty I don't know what the wow factor is on this, but I've got a pretty decent, like metal screamo playlist that people are like, wait, what?
Is Leo the singer?
That's crazy. He played the guitar.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, drummer guitar, but
there you go.
But yeah, I guess that'd be a fun fact.
Nice, bro.
Nothing too crazy.
Well, last but not least, man, we always like to know, because obviously, you're not gonna be great today if you don't try to invest in yourself every single day.
Right.
Great for a long time. You'll be great today, maybe not great long time. What are you reading right now?
I'm rereading
Okay.
Atomic Habits, because it's one of those books that you can go back to forever.
Yeah.
So that book is it's amazing as far as being able to adjust, right? Unlearn, setting goals, creating systems, unlearn certain things because what worked yesterday might not necessarily work tomorrow.
Very true.
Right? And so it's a good book to reference. James Clear, there's probably 1,000 people that I know that have already read that book, but it's amazing.
How many times have you read it?
This would be my second.
There you go.
Just second.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. We got Chet Durkin, manager at Naples. Appreciate
Sweet.
it, bro.
Thank you so much.
All right.
That was awesome.